Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to get right into the general reading for August for the sign of Virgo. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. If you're a regular, if you're new to my channel, thank you for stopping by. My regulars know that I've been on again, off again recently, only because of everything that's been going on. And there's a lot of other things that I actually do. There are other projects that I'm busy with right now, so I'm trying to keep everything in the air, just like everyone else. But here I am. We're going to get right into your general Virgo and see what... Ooh, that 10 of Cups came out twice. Let's pull that one out. Interesting. Love is love in the air. This is a general reading now. That's another thing. I did want to take some time off because the energy that's going on right now in the country and everywhere is just so much and so intensive. I was going to do a love reading, but I decided on doing general monthly readings to see where everyone's at. So Virgo, let's see where you're at. That 10 of Cups flipped out twice, so definitely want to keep that, right? So let's see. Show me what's going on, my lovely Virgo, for August. This general reading, show me. Straight out, we have 2 of Wands, 9 of Swords, 5 of Cups, heartache, star energy. You guys want to move on, right? You're trying to move on. Justice. Some of you are coming out of a divorce. 8 of Cups, 3 of Wands, so moving on, patience. Some of you are going to need some patience. 9 of Wands, 9 of Pentacles. Difficult month for you guys, Virgo. But 10 of Cups popped out twice, and I want to say it came out for a reason. I believe it probably came out as a sort of like, let you know that things will be okay. But this is a difficult month. Right away I see that some of you, definitely if you're resonating with this reading, you're going through a healing process this month. All right, it's going to involve, certainly friends are going to be very important to you. Socializing, reconnecting with friends, doubling down that loyalty, all of that is going to be very important to you this month. That's at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, you guys, some of you, I'm going to say, some of you are going through a divorce or a separation, and I think this is the month where you're kind of coming out of it, or you may still even be in it, meaning papers may have either just gotten signed or you're in the process of signing them. Something has happened recently this last month that brought justice in, and it had something to do with a heartache. A lot of sleepless nights. Still, this month is going to be a little bit tricky for you. Let's get right into it. 2 of Wands is there. So Virgo, this is a month where you are desperately trying to move forward. 2 of Wands is about taking that next step. It's Mars and Aries energy. So we're talking about being very kind of like, yes, I'm ready to take on the world. I've planted my seed. Now I'm ready to do the next step. It's very sort of, you know, I'm ready for anything. I can handle anything. You see the world is in his hands there. So it's like very much like, look, whatever the world has to throw at me, I'm ready for it. But yet you're covered with a lot of anxiety this month, 9 of Swords. So you're having a lot of anxiety about it. And again, I think that anxiety, 9 of Swords is the kind of anxiety. You have 3 nines. So 9 of Swords, Wands, and Pentacles. Yet you end with a 10 of Cups. So this is a month of anxiety. This is a month of a lot of you kind of like doing the last step. Let's get that focus. Doing the last step that you need to do to get to the next stage. You guys are coming out of a difficult period this month. And I want to say that that difficult period that you're coming out of is probably out of a heartache or heartbreak, right? Again, it feels like a separation or divorce. Why? Let me tell you why. Justice and the Magician. So justice comes in. Justice is generally all about karma coming in to rectify a situation that has been out of balance. So a lot of times that is also going to be associated with like sort of official acts like courts, decisions, documents, agreements, negotiations, mediations, right? Things like that. Things that happen in sort of a very sort of formalized way in our lives, yet they also bring a sense of equilibrium and justice. So it can be, for instance, a settlement that comes in after a long period, right, of waiting. It can be, again, a divorce. I feel like that's kind of what's happening here because of the preponderance of cups that we have here. and heartache cups, right? So there's that. And then you come out of the month with the Magician. So the Magician is all about finding your talent, understanding your talent, and really reveling in your talent. So it feels good, yet this is going to be a difficult month of unease for some of you. It's going to be kind of the last step, right? The last, kind of uneasy step before you get to tens and completion, because you have so many nines. Five of Cups and a Star. So this month you are going to be hurting. Really, really kind of thinking a lot about what happened. How did I get here? How did we get here? Why am I hurting? It is definitely a month where you're going to be very kind of like busy with the past and busy with what went wrong. This is, again, something that makes me feel like some of you are kind of going through the healing of a divorce or a separation. These are normal feelings to have. Everyone goes through them. The thing is not to wallow in them too long, but everyone goes through them. So Five of Cups is very much a case of like, look, you know, I effed up, I screwed up, or where did they screw up? You know, it doesn't always necessarily mean that you feel guilty, but you just kind of go over the sequence of events, you know? You're kind of like, if this changed or that changed. The one thing with Five of Cups, though, is that there's an inkling there or a hint there of optimism, because it's really all about you just kind of getting through this and lifting your head and looking to the future. Right, because the Two of Cups indicate this possibility, potentiality for love in the future, right? And Five of Cups talks about it. It is really five being the number for power struggle in the tarot. So Five of Cups is that internal power struggle we have when we've gone through a heartache, where it's like, how long will I wallow on this heartache, and when will I decide to sort of lift up and decide to look forward to the future? It's an internal struggle, and it's when you go through this month as you heal, coming out of this karmic justice event. In the back of your mind, you have Star energy, so you're also this month very busy with sort of recalibrating your desires and your dreams for yourself. You're going to also be in the back of your mind beginning to really start to fertilize you and yourself and your desires for your life, to sort of refocus on that all over again. That's what Star energy is about. It's about receiving inspiration from your own sort of higher self, your desire, your goals, your dreams for your life. That is what inspires us, what we want to do with our lives. It is a purpose. Star energy talks about that purpose, but also being very in the moment and fertilizing ourselves and our path and the things that we do, the way that we behave and the way that we think, and the relationships that we engage in. You know, all of these things, constantly thinking, how does this thing fit in with my goal for my life? And always sort of fertilizing and weighing and checking. And this is why you see her with the two. This is, of course, also the card for the Aquarius sign of Aquarius, just like Justice is the card for Libra and Tarot. That's just an aside. But yes, Star energy is very much about concentrating that focus on your wish for your life, and not the ambitious side we're talking about, but we're talking about the purpose that we want to have for our lives. And so this is very much something that is kind of inspiring you this month. And it's going to ultimately, I think, push you through this kind of depression that you have here with the Five of Cups. Although you are focused in the front of your mind with that, this Star energy is really bubbling underneath. And it will also help for you, like I said, to be out and about with your friends. The people who kind of really feed you, feed your energy, feed your heart, feed your soul. Maybe even help you with your ego a little bit in the sense of boosting you up, boosting your steam up, and helping you to remember the dream that you had for your life, right? As you come out of this kind of heartache. This is clearly a heartache to me, guys, Virgo. All right. Again, Ten of Cups has come out to let you know that ultimately there will be completion here for you this month with regard to all of this, right? Now, how do you come in? You come into this month, and again, I want to say that, yeah, I think the break happened a while back, but this Justice card is bringing it to the forefront. So I don't necessarily mean you guys may have broken up with this person quite some time back, but only just this last month or last couple of months you may have been dealing with the courts or the paperwork, etc. right? It seems to me like something that has been broken off for quite some time, but that you're still kind of connected with and dealing with this Justice card. So how do you come into this month? You come into this month with a firm desire to sort of move away from any kind of relationships that don't suit you, or that aren't on that level you need them to be. It's like you've been there, done that, you don't want to do it again, right? So that's kind of like the outlook that you have this month. You're being very sort of like, look, I'm going to turn my back on anything that isn't there for my good, right? That's what Eight of Cups is about. Putting boundaries up, putting borders up. You know, realizing that it's time to turn your back on relationships that don't give you back what you put in. And what comes back at you is the Three of Wands, is the sense of patience, of having to hurry up and wait. So Three of Wands energy is, Three of Wands is the card for patience in the tarot. It is 3 being the number for virtue, also loyalty, bonding, but virtue, and patience being the greatest virtue of all, because through patience, really everything is experienced. Three of Wands is that feeling of, look, you're not going to be able to make any decisions until you get some more information. So as you pull away from certain relationships this month, you're going to be reminded, or events are going to happen this month that are going to remind you that you can't make any real decisions going forward either. So it's not like you're just jumping out of the fire, out of the frying pan into the fire. Yes, turning your back on shallow relationships that hold you back is important, yet at the same time, not making any new decisions about new relationships is going to be very important, because you're going to need to have all of the information before you can make your next move. And that's what Three of Wands is all about. Now, how do you come in? What is your hopes and your dreams this month, but also your fears? Well, Nine of Wands. Here's your second 9 and your third 9 here. So Nine of Wands, again, we're talking about that last little bit of realization that, hang on, you know, I do feel alienated. I have found myself in this place really surrounded with a lot of issues, a lot of baggage, right? But a lot of this baggage and a lot of these issues that are alienating me, you can see he's kind of in this forest, right, of wands, are issues that have to do with me. I've put these wands up. I've put these barriers up. I've held on to some of these hang-ups, some of this baggage, some of these modes of behaving, because I felt like perhaps they protected me or what have you, they were a crutch. But Nine of Wands is that realization that we need to have about our own sort of hand that we have in our sort of experience, right? Especially when you have a difficult experience. And experience, Nine of Wands is that feeling of really being battered. You see the figure there's battered. He's really gone through quite a lot. You know, it's like life is really trials and tribulations that really kind of like, you know, let him have it. And a lot of this, though, is, you know, now he sort of feels he's in this sort of forest and he feels like, well, I'm protected, but is he protected? Is he in fact really just alienated from the green pastures beyond, where he can begin to really experience the life that he wants? And so again, it's the realization of the hand that we have, the hand that we play in our own sort of alienation from society and holding on to hang-ups. This is natural, because it feels again to me like this is for Virgo coming out of a long-term relationship or a very difficult relationship. Okay? Now, this could be also something for some of you. It may not necessarily have been a lover's relationship. It may have been some kind of relationship that had to do with work, like a partnership, right? Because Two of Wands does indicate here at the center that you are free now to really follow your passions. So a part of this kind of rebalancing that is happening here with this Justice, you know, for some of you, it may just be a rebalancing in your life, in the way that you've worked with someone, or the thing, or what it is that you've done for a living, the thing that you are connected to by your passions through your heart and soul, right? And that is coming back into balance, right? Still, there is a relationship connection here. So it could be that if this relationship was not romantic, if it was in fact, for instance, maybe a creative partnership, there's still a connection there. There's still a love connection there that you have with anybody that you have any kind of partnership with. And so this Five of Cups and Eight of Cups does not necessarily have to be about a romantic relationship. It could just be about a close relationship that has still, in fact, fallen apart, or where you've decided to walk away from it because you were putting more into it than you were getting back. And also realizing all of this with the Nine of Wands about how you have sort of maybe perhaps what part you have played in sort of being where you are at now. Nevertheless, how do you come out of it? Very independent. And this is why I say for some of you, this is very much a case of money. It could be a partnership in work or a creative partnership in business, because you come out of this month with a Nine of Pentacles, which is all about being in your own garden, seeing the rewards of your own work. Of course, Nine of Pentacles energy is ambitious. It is successful. Rewards come in, but it is very much a independent, ambitious energy, right? It is an independent, ambitious sort of rewarding of your work. And so Nine of Pentacles feels to me like by the end of this month, Virgo, you are going to absolutely come out of this exactly where you need to be, in your garden, amongst your sort of rewards, successes, because of course, indeed, you have worked very hard, and it's kind of like all of this is putting you right back where you belong. This is very much a rebalancing into a place where you belong. Could very well be that this relationship or connection may have kept you down for some time, and you may have felt lacked for some of your success these last few years, maybe even how long this was going on. And it is no wonder that you have a Two of Wands here, because certainly, Virgo, you are extremely creative and passionate anyway. But the success will come by the end of the month. And interestingly enough, that Ten of Cups is letting you know that also love will come in by the end of the month. So this, I think this Ten of Cups is really just has come in or shown up. You remember it flipped out twice, finally I took it, and I think it's really serving as a sort of catalyst for you to remember here with that Five of Cups to pick your head up and be optimistic about the future. All right, guys, this is a beautiful August reading for you, Virgo. Let me pull out your animal spirits for this month. All right, show me, Virgo, for August. We want the animal spirit. I'm going to pull out two. Fire ant, wow, and the cheetah. All right, so two fire. Fire ant is somebody who's very irritable, dealing with somebody who's very irritable, a situation that is easily irritated, that is very easily sort of angered, irritated. You know, fire ants, you know how they are in the wild. If you touch them, they erupt, and they really don't have any patience for anything. So some of you are dealing either with a situation like this or a person like this, right? And the best thing with fire ant energy is to leave it alone. Let it go, leave it alone. A lot of times fire ant people who resonate with fire ant energy, they're people who are generally very, very sensitive to begin with. And so they react a lot stronger to certain types of, stimulus or certain types of engagement with people than others would. This is the person who gets unrealistically upset about his friends getting into a fight, It's like fire ant energy can often be people who just don't like to have any kind of disruption. Fire ant energy is also to do with anyone. It's soldier energy. They like things to be a structured way. They like to have their orders. They like to know what is happening next. And anything that kind of breaks that up can be very irritating to this energy. So you're dealing with somebody who's very rigid also and kind of used to things being a certain way. Cheetah energy is also fire energy, but a cheetah energy is like the embodiment of the sun. It is absolute fire and purpose and drive. The cheetah is someone you cannot stop from achieving whatever they want. Cheetah energy individuals generally are people who sort of achieve huge feats of will, determination. Doesn't have to be physical, but they push through. They just keep their eyes on a prize no matter what, and they adjust as they need to, but they stay sort of strong going after it. The fire is so strong. So it's a really high achieving energy, cheetah energy. It's definitely a male-centered energy. It is a dominantly masculine energy, but it is certainly fire energy, and it's all about putting the purpose and the fierceness and the drive there to achieve what you want to achieve. All right, my lovely Virgos, I'm going to leave it at that. This is your reading for August. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. All right, guys, do sound off below. Let me know what you're going through. And for those of you who are my regulars, I do apologize if I haven't been around for the last couple of weeks. I had to document some other activities, some other civic actions on the street, which is what I do. But I am back, and I'm finishing off all these August readings for you guys, and then I'll be back with the weeklies. I love you so much, and I'll see you guys in your next reading. Bye, Virgo.